Greetings, Earthlings. I'm back with a setup tour for you guys. So over the weekend, you guys voted and said that you wanted an updated setup tour video. So I decided to go ahead and walk through everything that I use on a regular basis to make YouTube videos and podcasts. And if you guys want to pick up any of this gear, I'll link it down below for you to check out. Let's get right into it. So first we'll start with the microphone, and the first thing in my signal chain is the Shure SM7B. This has been my daily driver for years at this point. It is my favorite microphone, and I just don't think anything will ever fully replace it. My daily driver headphones are the Sony MDR7506s. They aren't necessarily the flattest headphone out there, but I have grown really accustomed to them. I know what they sound like. I know what stuff's supposed to sound like through them, so it's what I stick with. All of the cables that I use are Mogami cables, and my microphone sits on the Rode PSA1 boom arm. Behind the setup, I have the SM7B running into the Cloudlifter CL-1. Then from the Cloudlifter, I run into the DBX286S channel strip, and on this thing, all I do is use the preamp. I run a slight compression to help keep the peaks in check. I do avoid the de-esser and the EQ, and then I run a slight expander to help reduce a little bit of the noise floor. Then from the DBX, I run into the Arturia Audiofuse interface, and I chose this interface because it does have multiple microphone pre's, but it also has a stereo input on the back, which I use to plug my iPad in when I'm podcasting. Additionally, all the controls are right at my fingertips, so if I need to make adjustments on the fly while I'm recording, I can do that without having to dig through any software menus, and the I/O on this thing is absolutely insane, as you can see on the back of this thing. When I'm testing out a microphone on a guitar amp, I'm running through the Marshall DSL-15H, which I chose because not only does it have a really nice tone, but it also has a 7.5 watt switch on the back to decrease the volume significantly and make it a lot more manageable to deal with. And the head runs into an Orange PPC-112, which I just really like because I'm an Orange fanboy. Then as far as video, the main camera that I use is the Canon T6i with the Canon 10 to 18mm lens on it. On top of the camera, you'll see the Rode VideoMic Pro R+, which I've been testing for about a month before I do the review, and I am really liking it. Above that, you'll just see a Neewer LED light that is sitting on a Neewer boom arm. Then on the other side of the screen, I just have a permanently set up stand and case for the Hero 3 White, which acts as the second angle for my podcast. And then both the Canon and the GoPro are set up on these on-stage microphone boom arms, which are attached to a desktop mounting system. Then when we get to computers, my daily driver is a 2017 27-inch Retina 5K iMac with a 3.8 GHz Intel Core i5 with 40 GB of 2400 MHz DDR4, a Radeon Pro 580 with 8 GB of memory, and a 2 TB Fusion drive. Then off to the side, I just have some junky 1080p LG monitor, which I use as a second monitor for the iMac, as well as my primary monitor for my Windows PC. Speaking of the Windows machine, I don't know too much about it because I just bought a pre-built machine like a dope, but I did install a new power supply as well as a GTX 1060, but I do know that it has a Core i7 6700 at 3.4 GHz and 16 GB of RAM. As far as the computer's peripherals, I have a DOS keyboard with Cherry MX Blues to get really loud clickiness to get the worst case scenario for microphone testing. I use the Apple Magic Trackpad 2 for editing video because it's really nice and useful to have multi-finger gesturing. And lastly, I got the Logitech MX Master 2S because this thing is just a beast. It's really ergonomic and easy to use. And then for occasional gaming or watching X-Files, I have an Xbox One S connected to a 1440p Dell monitor. And then for sound, I just have a Bose mini soundbar. Now just miscellaneous stuff on the desk. First, I got a FiO E10 DAC in case I want to listen to high-res audio on headphones without running the Audiofuse. Of course, we got Dana Scully watching over us. Next to Dana, we got a just really big USB hub. In the center of the desk, I just got the Focusrite 2i2 2nd Gen always hooked up to make it really easy to plug a microphone in and start testing it. Then I just have an external hard drive, a GoPro, an additional USB hub, but this has an SD card and mini SD card reader in it. I got a charger for the GoPro batteries. Any desk would be incomplete without a mini flashlight. Of course, I'm going to have a couple of Fisher Space Pens. I'm going to have my Kershaw knife to open up microphones or stab some microphones that I hate. And making a return from the initial desk tour, this is a couple pieces of Trinitite, which is what was created when the sand melted underneath the very first atomic bomb blast in 1945. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up. If you hated it, thumbs down. If you want to influence what I review next, geeksrising.com/podcastage. Want more videos? Logo beneath me. Check out the Discord server, link in the description. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.